What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. It's your boy Armando. I am here with Duc Tran from Mariner Sales. We got a new series of videos that's going to be coming out, but this series of videos is going to be showing some of the upgrades and modifications that guy here at Mariner Sales do for their clients. A lot of this stuff requires drilling, requires some electronic engineering and stuff like that. And you, as maybe a new kayak angler, may not be sure how to do it. Feel nervous drilling into your kayak, doing some stuff on it. You want to hire professional work, make sure it's done right. The guys from Mariner Sales do that. So we're going to break down the Oldtown Sportsman. We're not going to be talking about the Oldtown Sportsman, but more of what they did to upgrade for their clients. It has a forward-facing sonar. It has new lights, new gadgets. So we're going to be breaking that all down right here on this video. So, all right, Duke. So we got the Oldtown Sportsman. Some new features that you added for your clients. Let's talk to it. Let's start with the RailBlaza.
It's easiest to use, and it's, I don't know, it's functionality.
Yeah.
It's very functional. It's, everything you wanted to do. I'm just going to show
let's break it down.
We're going to break it down to show you guys how this works. Typically, most of the transducer amounts out there, it's kind of like, well, you're stuck, You don't want the transducer in the water all the time. You're not using your live scope all the time. You're only using it when you're, at a spot where you want to use it, in your cove or whatever. So when you're traveling, this is great because you can just fold this down, pull this pin, lock it in. And now you can, shoot across the lake and not have to worry about, splashing or, just losing stuff. And if you can trim this bar to however you like. So all there is a cap on here. So if it sticks in too much, you want a little more space, cut like 6 inches off. Voila. You have all the space you need. If you want to scoot this in some more, you can, or you can scoot it out some more. The collar has a adjuster right here that you can just loosen. And now you can have it taller. And if you're standing, you can even use that to turn as you're standing. So it's feature rich for not a high dollar price tag. It's about $200. There's some out there that are $400 or $500. You rich people are lucky. This is the average person's build. It's pretty cool what it is. You can, and if you're traveling, since Garmin makes their stuff, you can't take it off per se. So to travel with this, 2 latches, whole thing comes off, and then you can kind of zip tie it to to travel with it on the highway. So
the other thing cool about it is on the bottom you can also adjust how you want to set up your transducer. A lot of times they have the perspective mode, they have straight down, forward. So on this also it's adjustable. What I like about it is it's not over engineered. It's simple. It has a few details that makes it very friendly to use and very adjustable. Not everybody's we're all not built the same length. Everybody's not as tall. Everybody's arms not as long. So the ability to kind of adjust it to also put the on other models is like, well wherever the stick is, that's facing forward. You have no option. On this one you can adjust it. Maybe you want to sit back and have it the handles be leaning to your way or pointing your way, but that doesn't necessarily mean you want the transducer pointing their way. So you can adjust it to the arrow pointing exactly where the transducer is.
If you have your transducer, if you want your arm crooked and your transducer angled that way, you can adjust this arrow. Now you have it telling you.
Awesome. So let's talk about how you installed the Garmin. First of all, tell me about the model of the Garmin. This is a forward-facing sonar, right?
Right. So this is the Garmin 93SV UHD2. So we had to drill out the grommets, the factory holes, because we have to get this giant plug through there.
Yeah.
So you always have to drill these holes out, get them in anywhere.
So that's one thing. I'm personally nervous if I ever have to drill in my kayak for whatever reason. So if I have to drill my kayak, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be a DIY man. I'm just gonna call Duke, Nick, the guys at Mariner Sales, and they're gonna hook it up for me.
You know, when you don't have the right tools and you have try to cut it yourself, I've seen some crazy cuts, and we have to repair. People have brought boats in for us to repair.
Hey, it's good business, right?
It is, but
rather not have your clients go through that.
Yep. So on this, we actually installed the fish finder and its navigation lights on our power distribution, the FPV Power Distribution Hub. So everything's on a remote. His fish finder is actually constant power. You have a switch where you can do A, B, C, and D. We have his lights on a switch, and then his black box, which also controls his live scope, is on D. So you press this button, it kicks on. You have to wait a minute or two, and it all powers on.
We can take that later.
Yeah.
And tell me about the FPVs. I know there's one inside the kayak. You can't get the camera in there, but this is the distribution hub that you use. And I think that's pretty cool. So show us how it works.
So it's a 4-channel, actually 6-channel, 4 channels constantly on, controlled by the remote. And then the other 2, which is usually like your head units, you can put 2 head units on here, like a Garmin. A lot of guys like doing the dual head units, the dual 93s, or some people even run their power pole through here. It's got a 15 amp max draw on it. It's individually fused, so if something goes wrong, something gets wet or something, the fuse will go out, it'll pop, and they just replace the fuse. The package comes with extra fuses, extra pigtails, and extra heat crimps. You crimp your wires, put a little liner to it. Waterproof. Everything on here is waterproof.
And what batteries, first of all, do you need for, or do you recommend for the Garmin 93 SV forward-facing sonar?
So on here we have the house brand FPV Power Lithium. We have 110 amps to power the motor, and a 25 amp to power the fish finder and the black box. So it should, and the lights. Everything, that 25 amp is ran to the hub, and everything should last 8 to 9 hours easily.
We have another boat that you're actually working on installing something. It's also an Oldtown. This is a
so as you notice, we installed both of them. We installed seats. They're both parents. They want to take their kids out. That's the great thing about the Autopilot. You can toss a kid back here, and you still have, a little over a foot of leg space, so they can get nice and comfortable. That's how I fish with my kid. He's super comfortable. And when I say kid, I say that loosely. He's 115 pounds, hitting 120. He's 11 years old, so big boy. But yeah, I mean, on this one, same thing. This one, we have our Mariner Cell seat risers.
Nice.
Rear risers on the and the front risers. These are 3 inches for both. Actually 1.5, and then 3 inches up in the back. They're solid. Actually, we didn't even have to strap down. You can strap it down, and it stays pretty solid. And then that also gives you extra room here to toss a couple tactile trays.
Awesome.
Super roomy.
So what's the purpose? If somebody's wondering, well, why do I want the seat, rise? What's the advantage of having that?
So a lot of the guys are taller. It helps you get up and down easier on your knees. And this boat is super duper stable, so you have plenty of room to stretch your legs. And a lot of times in factory, if you look over here, the seat is kind of angled downwards, so you're kind of sitting in a reclined position. So even if you don't get the front risers, you get the rear risers. You raise it up 1.5 inches. Now you're more level. Because I've noticed when I'm fishing on this boat, I'm usually not leaned back. I'm usually sitting just right here, remote in hand, just cruising along, just looking at it, updating my status. I'm never really just sitting back. So it was just, yeah, it's just a lot more comfortable for me to have it raised.
Guys, I said, if you live in the DFW Metroplex or nearby, come check out Mariner Sales. They truly have the biggest inventory. Look at me behind me. The biggest inventory in kayak and kayak accessories. And this is not even the store. This is just the workshop. So come check them out. If you don't live in the DFW Metroplex, or even if you live outside Texas, you can also check the website, marinersales.com. They not only sell a lot of the accessories from the most popular brands, they also sell even parts of it. One of my experiences, when first time I met Duc, I broke the Yak Attack flag. I was gonna buy a brand new flag, and he told me, you don't have to buy a flag. You can just buy the part that broke from the flag, and that saved me like 75 bucks. So come check out Mariner Sales. Again, if you don't live here, go check out their website. You can buy a lot of hard to find accessory parts on the website, and you can order by mail. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you want to see next. If you want a specific build or a specific accessory that you want to install in your kayak, put it in the comment section. We'll come here. Duc Tran will answer all your questions. Take care, everyone. Peace out.